welcome back to the Green Connection. As you may have known, if you watch every month, last month I had a repeat show. I had some medical problems. I'm now back, and I'm doing something a little different. I had planned to do something on water, but things have been happening, and I got to thinking about a town that I used to visit, a city, a long time ago, McAllen, in the Rio Grande Valley. We used to go to McAllen many years ago and had some friends there. Saw my first grapefruit there, growing on a tree, and across the border over the McAllen Bridge into Reynosa, and have some wonderful quail, which I loved. And I remember I bought a parrot, which I still have, a paper mache, which I loved. But it was a small town, and I hadn't been back very much since. Now we've been hearing a whole lot about McAllen and the whole Rio Grande area and the border. And I got to thinking, what is happening to this city that I really love to visit, and what's going to be happening in the future. McAllen, we have a video showing McAllen from 1921 to 1930, and it was a typical small town, and it's kind of interesting. It's even fun to see the cars and the dress of the people in that area. So I think we'll show you the video of 1921 to 1930, which McAllen was 100 years at celebration in 18 and at the end of 18. So in 1918 it was really founded. So here is McAllen from 1921 to 1930.
Hello everyone, I'm Letty Garza. I've been working with KRGV Channel 5 News for almost 30 years now, and I'm proud to say I was born and raised in the great city of McAllen. In fact, I still live in my hometown. It's been amazing to see it grow so big and beautiful. Let's go back a few years. In the year 2000, the U.S. Census listed the population of McAllen at 106,414. In the 1990s, citizens expected multi-lane wide highways. Everyone was getting a cell phone, and McAllen was starting to look just like a big city. Well, 2001 marked the start of a new century and the last decade of McAllen's first 100 years. And here in town, it was business as usual. And that was business in high gear. Not one, but two new community centers were opened, the Lark and Palmview centers, each with gymnasiums and meeting rooms and a branch library. The new Central bus station was built and opened downtown with several bus lines offering service. South Texas College opened the Dr. Ramiro Caso Nursing School, starting with 700 students. The Chamber of Commerce got a new building with expanded office space and a multi-purpose meeting room. The new McAllen Public Safety Building opened at Pecan and Bicentennial. Inside, the police department, municipal court, and city jail. A second Boys and Girls Club opens in North McAllen, the Glenn E. and Rita K. Roney Center. And snow falls in McAllen on Christmas Eve 2004. People woke up to a real white Christmas day in sunny South Texas. McAllen native Mike Fossum flies into space on the space shuttle. The Palm Fest Folklife Festival began celebrating the flavor of South Texas. The Veterans War Memorial of Texas is dedicated right next to the brand new City of McAllen Convention Center. The McAllen Heritage Center opens a museum dedicated to our city's history in the downtown building, which once housed our first post office. McAllen begins New Year's Eve celebrations downtown. Tens of thousands attend to see the ball drop to welcome each new year. The city opens another international bridge in cooperation with Mission and Hidalgo, the Ansalduas Crossing. Already, we are developing new public parks of a type unseen in South Texas before. It's been an exciting first 100 years for McAllen. Oh yes, our 2010 U.S. Census count, 129,877.
Since then, McAllen has prided itself on its lack of crime. In 1918, it had 34% less crime in the past 34 years. It's interesting because it's also rated as one of the safest cities in America. So some of the rumors you hear that it's not a safe place to be, I have a friend in Jazzercise who works for Coca-Cola, and she does their marketing, and she travels to McAllen pretty regularly. She drives, and she's by herself, and she loves it. The city is grown, and it's continuing to grow. It's one of the best places actually to be. And we have a video showing from 20, I think it was 2010 to 2000 to 2010, showing how it has changed and progressed.
6. McAllen. Despite its reputation as a mere border town, McAllen, Texas, is a very vibrant metro area and a major center for retail, international trade, tourism and manufacturing. A high quality of life, an abundance of medical facilities and young, bicultural communities are additional draws. McAllen is one of the least expensive metro areas to live in the nation. Residents spend less than the national average on home purchases and monthly rents, as well as everyday expenses like food, transportation and health care. McAllen experiences year-round sunshine, and residents enjoy the 80-degree winters. On the flip side, the summers are scorching, with temperatures reaching into the 102s in July and August. High humidity is also prevalent throughout the year, and like all metro areas in the state, rain is rare. Located 70 miles from the Gulf of Mexico, McAllen attracts those who enjoy the water. Weekend pastimes range from pedal boating or kayaking in the metro area's town lake at Fireman's Park to taking day trips to the beach. But there are other ways in McAllen to enjoy the outdoors. Since the Rio Grande Valley is a major bird migration corridor, bird watching is a popular activity too.
A few years ago, as you know, also many tourists come via RV or trailer from the Midwest and the North and the East to get away from the snow and the ice, the miserable storms they've been having lately. They've had every year forever. And so in other places where retirees and people come from across the country to settle somewhere in the South for summer breeze and summer temperatures all year long, they call them here, they call them winter Texans. And actually, McAllen has won an award, several awards, but one that Nancy McAllen, who is the, McMiller, I'm sorry, Nancy Miller, who is the Convention Bureau and Chamber of Commerce manager, accepted an award, which made it one of the top outstanding places to go, whether you're a winter Texan or just a plain old tourist in the country. And we have a video showing her talking about the award and telling what it was about.
McAllen recently received accreditation from the Destination Marketing Association International, or DMAI, which is our industry standard. So we are now an accredited Convention and Visitors Bureau. There are only 130 in the entire world that are accredited, so it's quite an honor to have been allowed this accreditation. To receive accreditation from DMAI, it's really quite a vigorous process to go through, and you have to reach a certain level of competency in many different areas pertaining to the convention and tourism industry. So the fact that we are one of just a very small handful, really, in the whole world that have been able to attain this speaks, I think, very well for the McAllen CVB, and we're very proud. I think having this accreditation does give meeting planners and possibly group tour leaders a certain level of confidence in being able to deal with the CVB that does have this accreditation, knowing that this is an organization that has been shown to be very good, superior even. There are only 5 accredited CVBs in the state of Texas, and we're one of them, so that speaks, I think, very well for McAllen. It was really quite a strenuous process to go through to get this, and Maritza Munoz on our staff did the majority of the heavy lifting on this, and she's to be commended for putting all this through. But really, we could not have gotten this if it wasn't for the fact that we have an outstanding staff all the way across the board.
What's interesting is among the approximately 45 to 50,000 winter Texans that come into McAllen, the season is from October to March, which is 6 months. Many of them have become actually citizens of McAllen because they volunteer to help in a lot of the things that McAllen is doing. 2 volunteers that I interviewed, and I mislaid their names. It's a mother and a son. The son has been coming there since 1998. When his dad died, his mom started coming with him in 2001. And so every year since, they have been coming to McAllen as winter Texans and volunteering at the Chamber of Commerce. They do, as his mom said, they do everything from insert mail into envelopes. They do copying, mimeographing. They do. They're another arm of the marketing division of the chamber, and they love it. And I asked them about visiting the border, and it was kind of interesting. They said, "Well, we don't go through over the McAllen International Bridge. We just head a little bit to the side of it and go through Progresso, and we just whip on through." And what do you need to go over the border? They just were there last week. Their dentist is there and their barber is there. And they said all you need to get across, to go into Mexico, is nothing. To come back into the States, back into McAllen, you need a passport. It used to be a birth certificate would also be accepted, but it isn't any longer. And so you need to have a updated passport. Otherwise, there's no problems. What is there to do? What attracts all these 45 to 50,000 winter tourists from the east and the northwest and the southwest? Square dancing is a big thing internationally. Square dancing in the Rio Grande Valley, which is McAllen, Far, all of the little cities, Mission. They all have wonderful events and continuous events on square dancing. One of the nation's top square dance callers, his name is Daryl Lipscomb, has gotten awards for square dancing, and he does a square dance event every month in Far, and we have a video of the square dancers. It's not only just the seniors and the visitors, the locals join in. And so, let's see how they do-si-do.
Boys, cross ball. Touch corner. Slip. All lanes circulate. Boy, run around girl. Couple circulate. Turn and deal. Square through. On the third hand, turn through. Out of that corner, lady there. Only gonna go and now the sides pass through. Separate round one and make a little line. Pass through, wheel and deal. Girls square through 3. Boys reach in, courtesy turn her. Send her back, double pass through. Zigzag, slip, switch the way. Couple circulate. Now the girls walk and dodge. Now the girls cross run and roll. Boys trade and the boy roll. Do a double pass through. Now the boys left roll to the girls. Do a left quarter through. Left swing and mix. Ollie will circulate. Boy, runner, not a girl, you do. Couple circulate. Go a half more, bend them in, and you ought to be good. Hooking ahead past the ocean. Swing through. Chain reaction. Scoot weave. All eight will circulate. Explode and around it through.
And there's another thing. It's in its. This was the fourth year. Actually 2019. It was January 20th. The marathon, the fourth annual marathon, and it's a 28-mile full run. And they have a half marathon, and they also have a kids marathon. It's a joyful thing, and it's I don't know how many people they get into the marathon, but it looks like quite a few, and we have a video on that also, which shows you, in addition to showing them running, you get to see how the city has grown over the past few years.
And that's what's so most important, that we must stay healthy. Sometimes we may not be, but as long as you make the effort to stay healthy, give it all you've got, that's what counts. Run with pride, run carefully, and enjoy the run.
I'm chasing tails, I'm surrounded, can't stop for a second to breathe. My thoughts are flowing like water.
As a McAllen resident, quality of life is important, and that's why I enjoy being a part of these events, and I enjoy living in a city that provides these events for folks who live in it and folks who come and enjoy from many different parts of the state and the country for that matter.
This marathon is named in honor of my late husband, Commissioner Scott Crane, who loved this city and whose vision is the foundation of this marathon.
Grab some of your friends to say, hey, let's make this event fun, and then you can come and enjoy the after party with your friends. It's all about getting involved and staying fit and active and paying that forward. So I encourage everyone to come out next year in 2020.
Take me back to the jungle.
We have a beautiful city. We have a beautiful venue. The weather is perfect. I mean, today is just a perfect day to run. You see the excitement. People just like to hang around even after they run. So it's a real family event. It's a great opportunity for anybody to come see us.
I am close. I know I will shine. One day soon I will fly. I know I am free. I'm feeling alive. Take me back to the jungle.
There's a lot to do in McAllen. It's just, well, it's 60 miles from South Padre Island, but they have beaches and water events and water in McAllen. They have a beautiful performing arts theater, which has some of the top stars. Inglacio is coming in. Some of the top Broadway shows come in. It's a beautiful addition to the city. The streets are, they use them as the background for their parades. It's sort of like when you go to Mexico, every day is a fiesta. And we have it almost the same in San Antonio. But in San Marcos, they line the streets. So on New Year's Eve, they drop the ball, just like they do in New York City. They have a New Year's parade. They have various other parades through the streets celebrating various events. And they have events along the waterfront, markets, and just all sorts of things to do. A lot of shopping. They have representative retail goods from both sides of the border, which makes it interesting for shopping. And it's a world-renowned nature lovers' paradise. The bird watchers come for special events. Some of the rarest birds in the world they can find at the Bird Center.
It's been a big year for birders from across the country who are flocking to Quinta Mazatlan, McAllen's World Birding Center, in hopes of seeing a rare hummingbird, the green-breasted mango. Evie Morel, a retiree from Naples, Florida, is having a banner year too.
A big year is kind of an informal competition amongst birders to see how many species of birds you can see in the American Birding Association region, which includes the United States and Canada.
The Big Year, a movie based on birding, sends birders across the country scoping out as many species as possible. As soon as Morel found out about the rare hummingbird at Quinta Mazatlan, she jumped on a plane and flew over.
I came here today straight from Sitka, Alaska, where I got my 807th bird yesterday, and got here this morning and was lucky to see this beautiful hummingbird, tropical green-breasted mango. Showed up a little while ago for about 30 seconds, and you see how happy all these birders were to get it.
Evie says she had no choice but to trek to McAllen to catch her 808th bird in her big year.
808, which is a new record for the American Birding Association. Because this year Hawaii is included for the very first time. So right now there's not another bird in the United States that I can go look at.
A call went out to birders by the American Birding Association to alert them of the rare find in McAllen.
Any bird that crosses the U.S. border from Mexico or comes over from Siberia or Europe, it's a big deal. When a bird like that, I think it really captures the human imagination, because those long-distance travelers, it seems almost inconceivable that something as small as most of these birds that end up coming from other continents to North America can even do something like that, but particularly when it's something as small as a hummingbird.
Williamson is passionate about the little creatures. She has even written a book called A Field Guide to Hummingbirds of North America. Williamson says the mango shouldn't even be spotted in the United States.
It is a big deal for birders. There's only been about 20 records of this species in the United States. And we don't even understand exactly why they're coming up here. But most of those have been in Texas, and most of those have been here in the valley.
Sherry hopes more people appreciate these little creatures in their backyard. All it takes is native shrubs, flowers, berry-bearing bushes, and trees to provide cover and food.
And hummingbirds in particular are among the easiest of our wildlife to make a home for. The vast majority of rare hummingbirds that have been seen in the United States haven't been seen in a public location like Quinta Mazatlan. They have been seen in people's backyards.
For birders like Jeannie Sells from Billings, Montana, this is a big event in a big year.
Came to McAllen to be closer to the birding areas over here.
Jeannie credits her husband, who was out butterfly watching at Quinta Mazatlan, for the birding bug.
My husband is a huge birder, and so I've gotten involved because it's a good thing to do together. We can hike, we can bird, we can just be great people.
Sells admits they migrated south to McAllen's sunny tropical weather to leave the cold, snowy conditions in Montana behind. Jeannie says since they've been in South Texas, she's captured a wide array of rare birds and butterflies to add to her life list.
We've seen 49 new species of birds just in the time we've been here since November 1st, just in that time. So that's exciting for us.
Evie hopes this little creature sparks the interest of more than just the American Birding Association.
Part of getting out there with my big year is to inspire people that maybe don't get out into nature, especially young kids. That's kind of one of my goals, to inspire young women in particular to think that it's cool to go out in nature and have a pair of binoculars and see the world through a different light.
An unusual find in this tropical oasis, Quinta Mazatlan is adding to quite a few bucket lists. For the City of McAllen, I'm Roy Cantu.
It was a pilot project. It's a pilot project of the North American Butterfly Association and a nonprofit committed to environmental conservation education. It's located in Mission, which is side by side to McAllen, and it's, if you look it up if you Google it, you can find it, the Butterfly Center of Mission or the Butterfly Center of McAllen, and it's the same Butterfly Center. It's 10 years ago, it was a 100-acre parcel of land along the banks of the Rio Grande River, and it was a commercial onion field. Can you believe that? And today it is the largest botanical garden in the United States, focused on propagating new plants for pollinators in formal gardens and wildscapes. In other words, they study, research, plant, and grow plants that attract butterflies and send these plants around the country, and you can plant them and see your own little butterfly sanctuary.
This is the best place in the whole United States to see butterflies every month of the year. I'm Jane Scott. I'm Secretary-Treasurer of the North American Butterfly Association, and we're here at our biggest project, the biggest project of the North American Butterfly Association. It's the National Butterfly Center here in the Valley, Texas. As you all who live here know, the weather is fantastic all year round, and butterflies love warm weather. There are almost 200 species that have been seen just right here in our own garden area. We have created a nursery which we propagate native plants that we use for our gardens here. This is a site that scientists who want to study the life cycles or the interactions of butterflies and their habitats can come and study. Monarchs are the ones that migrate, as probably almost everyone knows. They migrate all the way from Canada and throughout the U.S., down through Texas, through Florida, down into Mexico to their overwintering sites, and then their offspring come back through. So the habitat, the weather, and the connection with the land of Mexico all are the reasons that this is the place to come if you want to see a great butterfly or thousands of butterflies. You can come in December, you can come in January, every month of the year and find butterflies here, and the center will be open to welcome you.
So, thanks for watching. I hope you think kindly of the San Marcos Butterfly Center and the birding areas, and go down and visit it and see what a safe, great city it is. It really is a fun place to go and something you can be very proud of. Have a great week, great month. Stay happy and stay green.